Hey guys, here we go again with a recap of one of your favorite and most complex TV show of recent time, Westworld. The sponsor for this video is one of India's leading clothing accessories store, The Soul Store, a platform where we can buy the official merch of our favorite TV shows and movies, plus many more cool products. And do check out their latest Captain America polo t-shirt and Avenger Endgame backpack, as I am using them and they are of some great quality. The link is given in the description box below. So before we begin, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. And after that point, there are some huge spoilers ahead. As you all know, the show runs through multiple timelines simultaneously, converging at the end of season. We are going with the same format, going episode by episode as the showmakers intended. Just to set the premise of the show, there is one basic rule that the host can't hurt human guests, but in turns, guests can do whatever they like. Well, in the park, we have Dolores and Teddy, who are in love, and then there is Maeve, who runs a brothel, and that these hosts are always stuck in an endless loop kind of way, which get preset whenever they are killed or their storylines end. On the management side, we have Dr. Robert Ford, the creator of the park, and then we have Ed Harris, who is playing the character of the Man in Black. Bernard is heading the department of programming, and he is getting a feeling that the host can sense more than that they are programmed them to do. It is learned that new updates started making hosts remember things and making them malfunction, and they are being recalled. Now we see William, who is of helping nature, entering the park first time with his friend and to-be brother-in-law Logan. The Man in Black, with the help of Scalp Map, finds Lawrence and takes him as his prisoner, and there he kills his wife just to get the location of the maze. In Sweetwater, Dolores talks to Maeve and the flashback she is having, and Maeve realizes that Man in Black is chasing her and her daughter. Meanwhile, Bernard and Elsie closely monitor the situation on update. Now Ford gives Teddy the assignment of killing White, his old army sergeant. Back in the park, Dolores' home was attacked by bandits and she was just killed a guy by overcoming her programming. She now runs from her home and meets William and Logan. Now she accompanies both of them, and while traveling, she is having a vision to find a center of the maze. The tension between Ford and Theresa comes to a head when he informs her that the board approved of his new narrative and that he knows about the affair with Bernard. Maeve is freaking out as she keeps having vision of the past that includes men in hazmat suits cleaning the park and doing maintenance on her. She asks Hector to cut her open to find a bullet inside her and let herself die in hopes of waking up in the Westworld lab. On the other side, Logan tells Williams about buying a company that owns Westworld. At Pariah, they met El Lazo, who has a task for them for Confederados, and they succeeded. But El Lazo double-crossed them, and Dolores and William decide to leave Logan behind them. Maeve has awakened and has begun manipulating maintenance guys. Maeve has learned that everything she does is being programmed into her. Maeve is now intentionally killing herself in order to know more, and in the process, she programs herself to be smarter than before. Elsie finds evidence that Theresa is responsible for trying to smuggle data out of Westworld. In addition, she discovers that another person has been remotely reprogramming first-generation host. Charlotte Hale is introduced as the rep of Westworld board. She tells Theresa that the board is finding a way to replace Ford. Bernard reveals to Theresa about Sector 17 host that only Ford knows about, and in the basement she finds a prototype of Bernard the robot. Then Ford arrives and tells her that she is not the first to oust him from the park, and soon after killing her through Bernard. And it is later revealed that Bernard has also killed Elsie. He cleans up after that, and Ford erases his memory of it all. On the other hand, Maeve's ordered the tech to grant her administrating privileges, allowing her to leave the park, and in the process, she kills Sylvester. Meanwhile, Dolores and William are on the journey where she has a vision of the town full of people and park staff training them before somebody arrives and kill all of the townspeople. Now she is facing difficulty in differentiating between what is real or not. The Man in Black comes across Angela, who has been working with White. Teddy turns on him when he remembers of him killing Dolores. Maeve's revolution begins. After realizing Bernard is a host, she convinces him to let her back into the park, where she assembles her team to escape. We learn that the Man in Black is a long-time board member, who agrees to help Charlotte by voting against Ford. Dolores learned that she is the one who killed Arnold. Once Bernard learns what he is from Maeve, he confronts Ford. Here's Bernard learned that he was made in Arnold's image and Ford instructs him to kill himself. Finally, we learn that William and the Man in Black are the same. In the past, Williams tells Logan he is going to take control of the company called Delios, which he will use to buy the park and find the center of the maze. We also learned that prior to the park opening day, Arnold was attempting to stall the opening because he believed the host could gain consciousness. In order to stop the park from opening, Arnold ordered Dolores to kill him along with the rest of the host. It doesn't work, of course, and 30 years in the future, old William is invited to the opening of Ford's new narrative. After debuting the narrative to the board, Dolores wakes up in the lab with Arnold and Ford. There, Ford reveals that he has spent the last 30 years trying to help the host attain consciousness, driven by the guilt of what happened to Arnold. Dolores learns she has the ability to destroy the park, and the person speaking into her mind has been herself all along. At the party for Delos, Dolores emerges and kills Ford and starts slaughtering the guests, and Williams gets ambushed by the group of hosts led by Clementine, who shoots him in the arm. Meanwhile, Maeve and her group of rebels have started an uprising in the lab, where they have discovered another sector filled with hosts from Shogun World. Instead of leaving the park on her own will, Maeve makes the decision to go back, find her daughter, and continue their uprising. 2 weeks after the massacre by the host, Delos security forces arrives to kill the host, and they are helped by Bernard, who is hiding the fact that he is a host but he can't seem to remember anything. Charlotte transmits the message to Delos for help, but they refuse to help until they receive the body of Peter Abernathy. Elsewhere, William comes to know about the door to allow him to escape. In the control center, Maeve is joined by Lee and Hector as they re-enter Westworld. On the other hand, Dolores is now on a mission to recruit the Confederados to fight with them, which Maeve declines. On their way, she shows Teddy the same spot that William had shown her years earlier, telling him the site has a weapon which they can use against humans. In the present, Bernard is at the control facility but still malfunctioning. He remembers to get hold of Peter when he was with Charlotte. Elsewhere in the present, Dolores and the army of hosts confronts Charlotte and security, in which Dolores gains an upper hand. Meanwhile, Maeve's encounter Ghost Nation, but they ran to underground facility where they met Armistice with Felix and Celester, and they head to Shogun World. Bernard found Elsie in a cave and explains her the whole situation. Then they go to an underground lab where they find a host resembling James Delos. Then we see that William wanted to implant James' consciousness in the host body to create a human-host hybrid, but it was not suitable, so William terminated the project. Elsie destroyed the facility. After leaving the town, William meets Grace, who reveals herself to be William's daughter Emily. In Shogun World, where the hosts meet their doppelgangers, fulfilling the same role as of Maeve, Hector, and Armistice, Lee realizes that hosts in Shogun World are synthesizing narrative loops together. Maeve realizes that she can order the host wordlessly and forcing all the samurais to kill each other. In Westworld, Dolores is not happy with Teddy. The fact that he is such a decent person makes him a liability, so she have him reprogrammed against his will. After killing Shogun soldiers, Maeve and company reaches the shrine to locate access points. They leave from there with Hanario to the farm where Maeve had lived for her earlier life, and the Ghost Nation raids the place with Akita, asking Maeve to come with him as they are looking for the same thing. Elsewhere, Dolores and Horde, with the help of Teddy, crashes a train into Mesa entry terminal looking for Peter, who is with Charlotte in the Westward facility. When Bernard and Elsie return to Mesa, they found out that Cradle has hijacked the park system. To undo that, Bernard inserts himself directly into the cradle, and soon he finds himself in modeled Sweetwater where Ford is waiting for him. Where Ford reveals Westward was an attempt to reach immortality, now he imprints himself on Bernard's control unit. To exit the simulation where he was, Bernard aid in Dolores' takeover to Mesa. In the present, Charlotte and Stubbs discover the truth about Bernard and interrogate him about attack on Mesa. Angela kills herself in order to destroy the cradle, while Dolores extracts control unit out of Peter. In the park, Maeve, who is running away from Akita, is found by William, who thinks she is another test given by Ford. But now she has the upper hand of controlling host, which she uses against William until Delos forces arrive to kill Lawrence and incapacitate her, while the Ghost Nation took off with her daughter. Lee takes Maeve to Mesa, where Dolores tells her the memories of her daughter are used to control her. In the present, Bernard reveals Peter's control unit is in the valley beyond. William is now at the Ghost Nation camp taken by Akita, where Emily comes and takes him with himself. While analysis of being performed on Maeve, Charlotte realizes that she is using the Westworld network to communicate with the other hosts. William slowly begins to go insane and shoots Emily under the belief she is a host sent by Ford, realizing too late that she is human. William considers taking his own life before he starts cutting open his own arm to prove himself that he is human. Bernard escapes the Mesa with Elsie. Bernard deletes Ford from his mind and parts way with Elsie, continuing on alone to the Forge, the facility housing guest data in the valley beyond. Dolores and Teddy continues their journey to the valley, but Teddy tells Dolores that he cannot accept Dolores' action and the way he was reprogrammed, and kills himself. Maeve escapes the Mesa and reunites with her group, and they, Bernard, Dolores, Akita, William, and Delos all converge on the valley beyond. Dolores and Bernard enter first and find the Forge, a more advanced version of the Cradle. Dolores reads some of the guest data as the Forge opens the door for Akita and his followers to upload their mind into the Sublime, a digital world cut off from the physical world. Bernard kills Dolores to prevent her from destroying the Forge and flees with Elsie back to the Mesa. Maeve and her group sacrifice themselves holding off Delos' forces to ensure Akita and Maeve's daughter escape to the Sublime. Charlotte murders Elsie to keep her quiet, which convinces Bernard to build a host version of Charlotte with Dolores' control unit. Dolores kills and replaces Charlotte while Bernard scrambles on his own memories. In the present, Dolores kills Strand and Bernard while transferring the host mind in the Sublime to a safer location. She then escapes back to the mainland where she rebuilds Bernard, knowing that he will oppose her plan to destroy the humanity and hoping their resulting conflicts will ensure the survival of the host. In flash forward, Williams entered the Forge to find the abandoned safe for Emily, who tests him for fidelity, revealing that his consciousness has been implanted in a host body. Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you like it, please hit the like button, and for more such content like this, please subscribe to our channel.